Howdy, how's it going? I'm Frosting already, or potentially a really well-made hologram, and we'll never know. But yes, hello, welcome to another Battlefield 2042 video. Hope you're all doing well. If you haven't noticed from the title and thumbnail and stuff, we're going to be talking about Hazard Zone. Now, Hazard Zone's a bit of a weird boat. I did want to get gameplay of Hazard Zone for this video, however, after waiting basically 30 minutes to try and find a match and nothing, I gave up on it. So yeah, it's basically Battlefield 2042's dead mode. Now I don't like using that word normally when it comes to games, but I don't think there's any denying that Hazard Zone is dead, right? No one's playing it, like, at all. Even the 2042 content creators, they're not playing it, they're playing multiplayer, which is fair, multiplayer is much better. But anyway, for those of you that aren't aware of what Hazard Zone is, it was meant to be the replacement of the campaign mode that 2042 had. Obviously, you know, there was no campaign, and then DICE and EA said, well, here's another mode instead for you to enjoy. It flopped completely. I've already made a video on the 2042 not getting a campaign and why it kind of sucked for the game. If you want to watch that video, feel free to. You know, a shameless plug there, but basically, in that video, I mentioned how, with the lore and stuff that 2042 has of the world ending and how America's at war with Russia, and just the general lore that we know from like the promotional like trailers and stuff, a campaign could have been something. That's all I'm going to say on it. I'm not going to go too deep into the conversation. Again, if you want to know my opinion on the matter, go watch that video. But basically, Hazard Zone was meant to be the replacement for that. If you're not aware what it was almost like a battle royale mode, sort of. I think it's like 32 players drop into a map, and the objective is to eliminate other teams, get data drives, and then extract with them. And that was basically it. Basically, I think the more data drives you get, the more points you get, you win. I think that's how it goes. If you die, you die. However, I felt watching other people play it, I've never played it for myself, so I'm going purely off of what I've watched from other content creators and streams and stuff. I've never played it for myself because, as I said, I attempted to, waited 30 minutes for a game, got nothing, and backed out because I wasn't waiting for that, I just played multiplayer instead. But at launch, it felt very meta-ish, if that makes any sense. It was basically the same characters over and over again. Now at season 1, the characters were, you ran McKay for the high ground, you ran Angel for the revives, the, ammo packs, the loadout crates, you ran Irish so you didn't get grenaded constantly, and so you had that bit of cover. You might have ran Pake so you could see people through walls and stuff so you know where they are. And that was pretty much it. It was very repeated, and sure, multiplayer is somewhat similar to that. I won't deny that. Obviously, in Season 3 now, it feels more like there's more variety, obviously, because more operators have been added, but at launch, it was a bit samey. Sure, whatever, right? I can't really complain on that. There was, whatever, right? We move on from that point. But here's the thing that annoys me about this whole situation, right? Obviously, Battlefield 2042 at launch flopped. I don't think there's any denying that, right? Regardless of which mode you look at, the game flopped. It wasn't what people expected, it wasn't fun, it was glitchy, it was boring, it was all the complaints basically talked about Season 1, right? It had a bit of a, identity crisis, didn't know what the game wanted to be, didn't feel very Battlefield-like. You know how it is, right? Assuming you've not lived under a rock, you know the complaints this game had at launch, right? And what happened was, basically, also, so multiplayer flopped, Hazard Zone flopped, that was pretty much it, right? And then in Season 1 came along, and the multiplayer got better, sure. The new maps the new map, I should say, was a lot better than, the original maps we got with the game. Gameplay felt more smooth. Alright, sure, it had some glitches, but generally, it was getting better. And then DICE and EA decided to pull the plug on Hazard Zone, meaning no new content for it all, no updates, nothing. And that annoys me a little bit. because I want you to hear me from where I am standing now. In Season 3 of this game, I wanted to make this video earlier on in Battlefield's lifespan, but decided there was other topics I wanted to cover, other ones I have covered already. But I want to make this video now, because I feel like I've got a little bit more knowledge and more stuff I want to say on the game. We're in Season 3 currently. It's like a couple weeks into the season, right? And the game feels a lot better than it did at launch. I don't think there's any denying that. If you played at launch and you came back, you gave the game another chance, I feel like you notice a big difference, alright? The maps they've reworked and the new maps and all that are good. They've fixed a lot of the glitches, they've ironed them out a lot. It feels a lot better than it did. And I feel like, you know, multiplayer obviously is the main thing people play Battlefield for, so it makes sense that they want to work on that most, right? But had they ironed out, you know, Hazard Zone, I felt like it could have been something. Maybe that's just me, right? But instead of pulling the plug so early, like they did, had they worked on it, maybe reworked it, listened to the community and what they wanted to see, I feel like it could have been something more, you know? It could have been the replacement campaign that we wanted, you know? I feel like I would prefer a campaign personally, right? I've accepted my loss on that. We're never going to get one, even though the lore would be great, because it would fall in after Battlefield 4, which is one of my favourite Battlefield games, but whatever, right? We're not going to get a campaign. I've accepted that loss and moved on. But it feels like a waste to know that there was money and effort put in to Hazard Zone, right? It flopped, and instead of trying to make it better like they did with multiplayer, they gave up on it, you know? It's sad to see because, you know, as I said, I don't think there's any denying that, at least in my opinion, Battlefield 2042 multiplayer is getting better. They ironed out a lot of the glitches, it feels smoother, the new maps are better, it just runs better in my opinion. Will Battlefield 2042 ever be the greatest Battlefield of all time? Not a chance, not the slightest, right? But, you know, it could be something. Had they not given up on Hazard Zone, it could have been like something new, you know? Obviously Battlefield 5 did something. I don't remember the mode completely, it's blank to me currently. I've not played 5 in years, but they did something with a mode. I think that flopped as well and they gave up on it. Or was that, did it? I don't know, I don't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, right? But okay, there's no campaign so we can't rank that, but I feel like had they not given up on Hazard Zone, you could rank Battlefield 2042 to be something else. It could have been a new mode they could have implemented into other Battlefields down the line had they made it good. They could have worked on it like they did multiplayer. Multiplayer feels better now. Hazard Zone is dead. You know, it's disappointing to see, I think. You know? And again, maybe it's just me. I have no experience with Hazard Zone at launch. I have no experience with Hazard Zone now because it's dead. But if you played Hazard Zone at launch, let me know how it was. You know, what was your experience with it? I heard generally it was ass, but I want to know what the exact issue was. Obviously, I feel like it will be different depending on who you ask, but I want to know the issues with it. Because if it was the same issues that multiplayer had, they could have fixed it instead of giving up on it. But they didn't. Now, alright, sure. Why would you waste time on, you know, a game mode that flopped that EA can then put money into other modes that will do better, right? Multiplayer, for example. But that's the thing. Multiplayer also flopped at launch, so why didn't they just give up on that? Oh, I know, because they would have made more money had they fixed it. And Hazard Zone could have been similar. Had they genuinely put effort into it, like, you know, like effort into fixing it, I know they put effort into making it and stuff, but had they put the effort into fixing it, it could have been something, alright? Now, okay, there is also the argument that had they fixed it, it could also be as wank as it was at launch, and that's a fair argument, I'll give you that, right? But we wouldn't know that because EA and DICE have pulled the plug, and I doubt we're ever going to know the true potential of what Hazard Zone could have been. It was an interesting concept on paper. I will admit that. I was excited about it, even though I was a bit bummed out there was no campaign. I know, I've mentioned this many times before, I ramble a lot. But even though we had no campaign, I feel like had they worked on this, it could have been something. I've said that so many times this video, you're probably sick of hearing me say that. But it's true, you know? It could have been something better. And that's what disappoints me about the game. Is that now, when people look back on 2042, alright, sure, it was never going to be like the greatest game Battlefield's ever done, right? I'm probably gonna look back on this game in like a few years down the line and be like, wow, that game was something, a bit of a clusterfuck at launch. It ironed out itself, sure. I feel like in Season 3 it's a lot better than it was at launch. Alright, sure, some things annoy me here and there, but that's another topic for another video, I think, before I start rambling about things that annoy me. And I've still got my end of year review for when, you know, the next game comes. So yeah, look forward to that, I guess. But still, I can't rank Hazard Zone because they gave up on it. So it's still as wank as it was, and no one's playing it, so it's dead too. So they had potential, and they ruined it pretty much. Now, again, I have no experience with it, so if you do have experience with it, let me know what you thought of it. Because I'm basing this purely off of what I've seen from YouTube videos and streams from other, you know, Battlefield content creators, excuse me, but, you know, all that stuff. Now, this video is coming to an end. I will stop rambling, I will stop making your ears bleed, I will do all that stuff, I promise. But, yeah, again, I would have preferred a campaign. But again, I don't think they should have given up on Hazard Zone. It could have been something. Maybe you disagree with that, and that's fine. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I'm going to end the episode here. The episode? No. I'm going to end the video right here. Yeah. I've been your boy Frost. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. Leave a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And yeah, see y'all next time. Peace.